Hello everyone, I'm Freaky and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be reacting to, um, excuse me, um, oops, give me a second, should have done this earlier, I do apologise, blah blah blah. Okay, here we go. Freddy versus Wolverine, New Line versus Marvel, Fan War, Fatal Conflict. So if you guys haven't seen this video, please go and watch this video first, and as soon as that, come back watch me watch this. So that's it, let's continue. Oh, it's even got animation rewind on here. Woo! Awesome. So, who do I think is gonna win? Wolverine, 100%. Wolverine's got like more experience. He's a freaking mutant. I mean, he's hard to kill. It's pretty much easy. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, he could die in his sleep, but he'll keep on coming back. That's what I think. So, without further ado, let's get to watching. So this is Freddy versus not Freddy versus Jason. So this is Freddy versus Wolverine, and 3, 2, 1, and oh, hold on, give me a second. Oh, 3, 2, 1, and go. This will be fun.
Hey guys, before the video starts, if you enjoyed this episode and want to support my channel, consider supporting me on Patreon. Patrons not only get a shout out in my videos, but will also get cool access to patron exclusive content, such as animation updates, alternate endings, sneak peeks, polls that'll determine what future projects will happen, even early access to new episodes of Fan War an entire week before they're released to the public, and of course knowledge regarding episodes long before they enter production. Now that's a deal worth fighting for.
A deal worth fighting for.
Below for those who want to join. But for now, enjoy the show.
Super neat.
Over the years, we've seen many combatants of all shapes and sizes, be it monsters, cyborgs, or even gods. But very few can say they are as deadly as these two near-immortal killing machines.
Sorry, what was that? I was more focused on the murder blades coming out of their hands.
Neat.
Freddy Krueger, the Elm Street Eviscerator of Springwood.
That's not Freddy.
And Wolverine, the adamantium champion of the X-Men. Now, for this battle, we'll be sticking with the Wolverine from the main Marvel continuity.
Robert Englund will always be Freddy.
And for Freddy, we'll only be using the original movies and any comic book that fits within the movie continuity.
I'm One Fish Mob, and he's Animation Rewind, and it's our job to see who would win a fatal conflict. From his very beginning,
would be cool?
Charles Frederick Krueger was destined for a troubled life.
Before he was born, his mother was raped by several inmates at the insane asylum she worked at, and they promptly put him up for adoption after he was born. He was then adopted by an abusive alcoholic and was relentlessly bullied at school for being the son of 100 maniacs.
And while Freddy would eventually go on to have a loving wife and daughter, deep down, his twisted heart sought vengeance for what the people of Springwood had done to him his whole life.
So Freddy began haunting and killing the children of his former classmates, earning him the name the Springwood Slasher. But when he was finally caught for his heinous crimes, because his arrest warrant was signed in the wrong place and the judge was drunk at the time, Freddy was released.
But the townsfolk weren't having any of it. So they took it upon themselves to deliver their own brand of justice.
It'd be cool if there was actually like a game that had like all these like horror icons fighting each other.
But while the building burned around him, Freddy just didn't simply die and go to hell for his sins. Instead, he was approached by dream demons who offered him a chance to continue his killing spree.
An offer he quickly accepted. So while Freddy died in the waking world, he continued his murder spree in the dream world, using people's own fears against them for his own sick amusement. And the worst part? Whatever he did to his victims in their dreams would happen in real life.
As you know, considering Freddy is only able to do
He's
this
a
because those
personality.
angry people burned him alive and that more people died in the long run because of that, maybe they should have just let the bad guy get away that one time.
Regardless of the what-ifs, in the dream world, Freddy is a near unstoppable force that's able to warp and change the environment around him, can walk through walls and teleport wherever he wants, and can change the form of himself and others into whatever he desires.
And seeing how he does his work in other people's minds, he also has some mental powers as well. He can read the minds of anyone he enters the dreams of, mostly using this to find their greatest fears and levitate people and objects to attack or kill.
He has near instant regeneration that heals any injury he receives in mere seconds.
Yeah, I will say that as the movies went on, I mean, they became less scary.
And if he really
But
wants
at the same time,
he can
I still
even
enjoyed
possess
them.
people and get full control of their body in the real world.
But while he may not have his dream powers in the real world, that doesn't make him any less formidable. He is extremely athletic, able to dodge most attacks with ease and perform gruesome kills in a matter of seconds. He survived several machete slashes and immense forces of trauma, and is strong enough to fight on par with the likes of Jason Voorhees and Ash Williams. He was even able to take down fully grown men as a skeleton. A skeleton!
But Freddy isn't completely powerless in the real world. He does retain some abilities while in it. He can ignite pretty much anything he wants on fire, teleport in a mass of flames, and can absorb the souls of those he's killed into his body, making him stronger with each kill. And while Freddy's no combat expert, he's a surprisingly capable fighter, using quick movements and cheap tactics to gain victory.
But no slasher villain is complete without a trademark tool of mass murder, and for Freddy, he has his clawed glove, a semi-metal gauntlet with 4 knives attached to the fingers. It was originally used to torture
somebody
the
has
children of
made
Elm
some-
Street
made something
before
like
it
that
found use in cutting
real
pretty
life.
much every prey like butter.
And Freddy's legacy is a truly terrifying one. Over the course of his career, he was responsible for the deaths of innumerable people, made several almost successful attempts to return to the living world to continue his killing spree there, and even almost got his own holiday in LA.
Wait, what?
And when he got his hands on the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, he briefly became a god.
This guy sounds like he's almost unstoppable.
Almost is the key word here. Regardless of what world he's in, he still feels pain, is vulnerable to holy items, mirrors will cause the souls he's absorbed to tear him apart, and once he's in the real world, his own power is substantially reduced, making himself susceptible to actually dying on a permanent level.
And considering Freddy himself can be dragged into the real world by his opponent if they're lucky enough, I guess it's pretty stupid of him to just simply toy with his victims instead of killing them outright.
But as long as the fear and memories of the Springwood slasher remains, Freddy Krueger will always be there to haunt their dreams.
It's time to put this bad dog to sleep.
This is one thing when it comes to Jason. You don't not
You
mess
hear
with,
them
with Jason.
unsheathe, you hear them growl, and the last thing you'll see is him coming for you. This terrifying creature is simply known as the Wolverine.
Awesome.
Needing very little introduction, Wolverine is undoubtedly one of the most famous Marvel characters in history and the most iconic member of the X-Men. But before he was the feral fury we all know and love, he was James Logan Howlett. Born in the 1880s, James was the son of Elizabeth and John Howlett, living on a large estate with their groundskeeper, Thomas Logan, and his son, nicknamed Dog.
As a child,
Hey, what's up,
James
dog?
was incredibly feeble, prone to allergic attacks, and was mostly neglected by his mother, who was pretty messed up emotionally. But he did have a few playmates, but as they reached adolescence, Dog was warped by his father's abuse, and after killing James's puppy, both him and his father were expelled from the estate.
An action which would set in motion a series of events that forever changed James's life. In a drunken stupor and armed with a shotgun, Thomas invaded the Howlett estate with Dog, killed John, and attempted to take Elizabeth with him.
Neat.
Seeing this unfold before his eyes, rage began to fill James's very being. revealing a new detail about him that not even James himself knew about.
He was actually born with an X gene, a genetic mutation that grants one inhumane powers, and the mutation he had was 6 retractable bone claws. And with a ferocity he never knew he had, he attacked the intruders, killing
So
Thomas and severely hurting Dog.
what exactly
despite
is
saving
Wolverine's
her,
power?
James'
Anyways,
mother became unhinged,
before you have
chased James away,
before
and took
before
her
we
life with a blast from Thomas's own
got
shotgun, taking
the metal
the
inside
worst
of him.
part of this whole scenario to her grave, one she never revealed to James.
Thomas Logan was in actuality James's real father, and he was simply the illegitimate love child between him and Elizabeth.
Well, that just got dark.
After taking a new name to hide from the authorities, Logan would continue to live for centuries afterwards, going on to become a miner, a soldier, an outlaw,
he's
a
supposed to be like a wolf,
samurai,
or...
and even a wolf, before eventually joining the mutant superhero team, the X-Men. And with the rage of a wild animal and the spirit of a warrior, he would eventually gain the nickname of the Wolverine.
But being a violent mutant of mass murder isn't all bad. Wolvie's strong enough to lift trees and dumpsters and can hold his own against other powerful heroes like the Incredible Hulk, who at bare minimum caused global earthquakes during his battles.
He is tough enough to take hits from the entire X-Men team attacking him at once. Survived hits strong enough to send him flying to other countries, and is unfazed by stabs and gunshot wounds.
Wolverine can move faster than the eye can see, effortlessly flipping, jumping, and dodging cars, gunfire, missiles, and lasers, and keep up with people like Silver Samurai, who can teleport, but Logan, who has more than just raw strength and speed going for him, he is one of the most powerful healing factors in the Marvel Universe, rivaled by very few others.
It is so powerful, he can regrow skin and organs in mere seconds. Not even a nuclear blast can kill him. And with some training from various X-Men members, he has also developed resistance to most forms of telepathic attack, including mind reading and telekinetic possession. But his most useful attributes would undoubtedly be his natural senses, which are significantly greater than that of most earthly animals.
This guy can see, hear, and even smell you in many rooms away. Heck, he can even smell you long before you know he's there. He can even smell emotions. How does that even work?
Hormones, maybe? Regardless, Wolverine's many centuries of fighting does make him one of the most experienced fighters on the X-Men. Throughout the centuries, he's become a master fighter and tactician, having mastered 28 forms of Kung Fu, learned how to use pressure points on humans and aliens, and is able to improvise right on the spot to win battles.
But long before he ever joined the
X-Men Evolution's awesome.
Wolverine was once part of the Weapon X program, a U.S. government project made to include superpowers into ordinary humans for military purposes. Through this, they injected Wolverine's bones with nearly indestructible metal known as adamantium. With this super metal permanently infused with his bones, Wolverine's skeleton is now just as tough, allowing him to survive attacks from opponents like the aforementioned Hulk, who can't even cause the most minor of injuries to his body because of it.
But those weren't the only bones to get an upgrade. His aforementioned bone claws also became infused with adamantium, making them able to cut and slice through nearly anything, like Colossus's osmium steel body, the Hulk's skin, and chains that could bind Hercules. Though he is unable to cut through equally tough metals like vibranium.
And if you think Wolverine's already terrifying enough, then that's the last thing you want to do is piss him off, because if you do, he will enter his berserker rage. In this state, he loses all sense of thought and morale, and becomes a savage animal.
It's kind of a shame that the X-Men wasn't in what's it called?
Adrenaline, all while retaining his combat skills,
MCU.
tactical awareness, and increasing his strength substantially, basically turning him from savage anti-hero to full-fledged slasher villain.
And his legacy will certainly be one that all villains will fear. He has fought in both world wars, taught plenty of other fighters so well they could be considered master martial artists themselves, and once even had his heart explode and healed it back momentarily. And that's ignoring just how broken of a fighter he really is. allow me to tell you the story of when Wolverine went to hell.
Jeez.
You see, one day, the devil himself decided that he wanted to use Wolverine as a nigh unstoppable vessel for murder. So he separated Wolverine from his body, trapped him in hell to battle all the local demons, while allowing an entire demon horde to enter Wolverine's body, to destroy his mind and take control of him. In that time, Wolverine ended up defeating the devil, slaughtered innumerable demons, and with help from his real father, even became the Lord of Hell itself. And when he was returned to his body and saw what the demon horde was doing to his mind, he unleashed all of his personalities as an army to fight them off. And with an extra push from his friends, he unleashed the most powerful aspect of his subconscious, completely obliterating all the demonic forces in the process. That's right.
Neat.
Wolverine has not only conquered hell itself, but with the support of his friends and loved ones, literally conquered his inner demons.
And while most of Wolverine's weaknesses are few and far between, if you find a way to use his heightened senses against him, and the near 100 pounds of adamantium in his body makes it near impossible for him to swim.
And due to his healing factor being tied to his brain, if you decapitate him or cut off his air supply, he can still die. And despite being a master martial artist, Wolverine does prefer to just hack away at his opponents.
But as long as evil is afoot, there will always be an adamantium claw to cut them down.
Awesome.
What kind of monster are you? The Wolverine.
Ouch. Neat.
Alright, the combatants are set. This battle shall have no prep time, no outside help, or home field advantage.
It's time to see who would win a fatal conflict.
Woo! I guarantee you, Wolverine's got this one.
Fight!
Oh, there's Freddy. I mean, look at this. I think that's funny. Oh, funny. Super neat. Oh, here we go. And nickel. Oh, the crop baskets. He went blue. What the heck? I wonder what's more effective, the knives on the fingers or the knives on the wrists. It's like, is a Wolverine an actual animal, or is it something made up? Neat. Go.
Let's go, bub.
Let's go, bub. Oh.
Fatality.
Woo! Way to go, Wolverine.
Well, I guess that'll be Freddy's new nightmare.
With his powers over the dream world, Freddy held a severe advantage over the Wolverine. But in the end, it just wasn't enough.
Wolverine completely dominated Freddy in with strength, speed, and durability, and while Freddy may be a tricky opponent who toys with his victims, Wolverine's basically pre-equipped to fight Freddy face to face.
Freddy may be powerful, but Wolverine's already gone toe-to-toe with far stronger opponents. Freddy may be able to teleport to wherever he wants, but Wolverine's already fought opponents who can do just that. And while Freddy may be a powerful demon, Wolverine's already fought plenty of demons in the past when he was sent to hell.
And sure, Freddy is a notorious serial killer who slaughtered countless children and teenagers for presumably decades if we highball it. That is nothing compared to Wolverine's centuries of combat experience.
But in the end, it wasn't a question of if Wolverine could survive Freddy's attacks. It was a question of if Freddy could kill Wolverine. And I think the answer is glaringly obvious.
Let's face it, while deadly in their own right, Freddy's glove is just a bunch of normal blades made out of completely normal everyday metal that doesn't even have a remote chance at scratching the near indestructible adamantium inside Wolverine's body. And let's be honest, those near indestructible adamantium claws are far superior compared to Freddy's simple DIY glove any day.
In the end, Freddy's best chance at beating Wolverine was to figure out what he fears. And even then, that is unlikely to happen as Wolverine's telepathic immunity has protected him from telepaths of a higher level than what Freddy is. And while some may say, can't Freddy just possess Wolverine's body? Well, no, not really. For many reasons, actually. 1. Wolverine is immune to psychic forms of possession, so using that is out of the picture. 2.
Neat.
When Wolverine was possessed, it required both the devil himself and a horde of demons to do so. 3. While he did have some support from his friends and allies, it was ultimately his subconscious that won out over the demonic possession. And 4. While the demons were able to destroy a good chunk of his mind, it's good to note that was only because Wolverine himself was in hell, and the demons were doing their thing, unimpeded, for almost 3 days straight. So, could Freddy possess Wolverine? Possibly, but it's not going to be as easy as the people he previously possessed. In the end, all of Freddy's attempts to kill Wolverine and his constant toying with them would just only end up pissing him off until he entered the Berserker Rage, which would only boost his superior stats even further.
And given Wolverine's ferocity as a fighter, the chances of him pulling Freddy into the real world are completely great. Once Freddy was on Wolverine's turf and playing by the rules of the real world, everything changed. While Freddy may be a tough fighter, he just couldn't compete with a mutant who simply outclassed him and all those he's fought and killed.
In the end, Freddy may be one tough son of a bitch, but with his greater strength, durability, experience, and his indestructible bones and healing factor, All Wolverine had to do was outlast his opponent until he got an opening.
I guess Freddy won't be clawing his way out of this one.
The winner is the Wolverine.
My man.
Next time on Fan War.
Here we go. This song slaps. Here we go. Oh, glorious. Absolutely glorious. I mean, come on. It's freaking Wolverine. I mean, yeah, I love Freddy and everything, but come on, you have to admit, I mean, you wouldn't stand a chance against Wolverine. Come on. Oh well, what can you do? So, if there's anything you guys want me to react to, just leave in the comments below, and I will get to the videos as soon as I can, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. And please, don't forget to check out my other social medias. Please go and check out my alternative video platforms, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Twitch, and please come and hang out on my Discord server. We can play games, have a movie night or a series night, or you can watch me play a few games. And if you guys have any suggestions of any videos you want me to react to, or any video ideas in general, you can tell me on my Discord. I'm also on Twitter, Gab, Getter, and Paula. I'm on Locals, Tumblr, Minds, and if you guys want to support me, please go and check out my Subscribestar. It's like Patreon, but better. All these things are in the description box below, so please go and check them out and subscribe to them. I'm Geek Freak. Peace out.